Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Richardson. Throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
Sanders' kick is good, and that'll make this 17-0 here in the opening quarter. So a great first quarter continues here as they add on to that lead.
And Brandon, I think it sets up what's going to be an important drive because it's now 17-0. So the other guys, they got to figure out something quick before this game gets away from them.
So an early advantage now and a good one. 17-0 our scores. They kick this one away. Here's Raymond bringing it out. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Back to the air. Goff on 2nd down. Got his man complete. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Colts pick it up. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. This defense, Charles, very opportunistic here early. A 2nd fumble recovery in this first quarter of play.
Yeah, you mentioned the right word, opportunistic and aggressive, because once they got the first fumble recovery, they were eager to get a 2nd one, and sometimes they just come in bunches. On the flip side, they've got to figure out how to hold the ball because the play calls seem to...
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And the Lions are going to take over at their own 11-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
On 2nd down, Jacobs, and they'll get him down here at the 23. 7 yards there and a 1st down. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
And he will possibly get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. On the other hand, it would definitely take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 17-0 our score after 1. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Kenny Moore. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Well, we heard all week that they were going to put the football in the air a lot. The problem is that is now 4 interceptions, Charles, that he has thrown in this first half. How do you treat a situation? What do you say to your quarterback right now?
Boy, that's an interesting question because a lot of it depends on the head coach and the people making the decisions. You have to know your quarterback and know if he's mentally tough enough to have a chance to turn it around. Or is he a guy that maybe you've seen enough and it's time to go to the backup? you're rooting for is your defense. They'll keep you in the game to give him an opportunity to get back on track.
Richardson to throw off play action. Did he get the feed down? Yes! Touchdown! Jaden Reed, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Colts are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his second season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook. Not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
Here's Khalif Raymond to return. And running with power here. And he returns this to the 22. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. If they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stopped that one behind the line of scrimmage.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
Now look at this, 4th and 12, and they're going to line up to go for it. They go ahead and snap it. Goff. And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. Boy, they get him yet again, Charles. 5 interceptions in this game. You rarely see this, maybe a couple of times in a season, but this defense, they've been fantastic.
It's certainly an example of watching a defense that is in the zone, right? We use that term so often, but most of the time, it's for people who are on offense. In this case, it's the defense as a whole, all locked in with each other, all ready to go.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Here's Richardson. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. Touchdown! A great play there. His first NFL reception goes for 6. And the Colts are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, this offensive unit, yeah, they were solid in the opening week victory, and now they are looking just as sharp here in week 2.
And that's exactly what you want, too, because you want to get better each and every week and really ramp up as the season goes on. I know it's still early in the season and a lot can happen, but this offense, they look like they're going to be fun to watch each and every time out.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Now a play fake, and it's gone. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began, thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on 1st down, followed home by an incompletion, one more good rep, and they get off the field.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And my goodness, another interception. And he'll take this back down inside the 20.
And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Kenneth Walker with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season.
And the Colts just continue to roll.
And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. So take away the touchdown. The officials rule he did not get the football to break the plane. Hull is going to take this one in for a Colts touchdown. So they brought the extra break in down to the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football, hat on a hat, chest to chest, driving forward, touchdown.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And a rout is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
Here's Raymond bringing it out. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
At their own 16-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Trying to run. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. They failed once in this spot earlier, but the offense will stay out to go for it on 4th down. They are going for it. Goff. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Colts are going to get the football in outstanding field position. So they take a big chance here in their own territory. And you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own side?
Touchdown, Colts! Keenan Allen, his 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Colts are pouring it on.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And a rout is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
Here's Raymond bringing it out. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on fourth down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown. So now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it. Sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try and pick themselves back up.
On second down, here's Goff. And now here is another interception. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he'd won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001 to throw 7. And got his man complete.
And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown.
Jaden Reed.
2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far.
And the Colts extend their lead yet again. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Khalif Raymond now. Raymond now on the return. There he goes, left side. Past midfield, look out. Khalif Raymond. He's inside the 20.
And partner, not only is he kicking himself right now, he's going to petition the league for 99-yard fields. That's almost not fair to get it that far and not get into the end zone. Nevertheless, a great return.
The best starting field position you could possibly have. 1st and goal from the 1. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Oh, they were so close. That close to their first points of the game. Just needed to hang on just a second longer. But he couldn't complete the process of the catch through the jostling from the defender.
Jacobs. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. This Colts D up to the challenge so far, but they need another stop here on 3rd and goal. They'll run it with Jacobs. And this time he is in. Josh Jacobs. A touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Lions are able to eat in just a bit to this sizable deficit. Goff looking to throw. And they don't get it. They tried for the 2-point conversion there, but unsuccessful. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one. Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
2nd and 5. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Richardson looking to throw this.
Rolling to his right. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. Oh, and Sanders pushed it to the right. No good. But that's just a minor blip here in what's been a thoroughly dominating performance. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here.
Sanders now to kick this one away. Here's Raymond bringing it out. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
The first thing you have to remember is that what's done is done and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot. Pretty unlikely, but you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Taking it right down Broadway. Touchdown, Detroit.
Jahmyr Gibbs.
53 yards.
And the Lions come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the 3rd quarter.
Well, I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
Point after, right down the middle. So they do get 1 score back, but still a long way to go here in the 3rd quarter.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
19 Tiger, 19 Tiger. 18 Pioneer. Ready.
1st and 10, it's Richardson.
Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Gets past 1 man. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
Intercepted by the Lions. They'll take over 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Josh Jacobs with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Lions take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points. No problem there on the extra point. So they do get one score back, but still a long way to go here in the third quarter.
Jack Fox to kick off for the Lions.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30.
At their own 32-yard line.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Still comfortably on top, third quarter as they start things here with a 1st and 10. Richardson's throw pulled in by Woods. Oh, that's just not fair, and now room to run. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big third quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
But now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Here's 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, Walker with it. And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. 75 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
1st and 10 at the 31-yard
1st and 10. Here's Richardson with it. This is Hamler on the receiving end. Touchdown! K.J. Hamler, 31 yards. And the Colts have got it on cruise control. So, Charles, they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. Now, last week, they had the close victory. This one more commanding, much more comfortable.
Well, the sense we got from them was that last week they felt like they didn't play their best. They got the win, but they weren't really on top of their game. But they put it all together here in this one, haven't they? What an impressive performance.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Here's Raymond bringing it out. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Now it's gone. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the...
And now the up man has it. It's a fake. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. They go for it on 4th down, and it pays off big time as they pick up 29. And now here's a timeout called by the Colts on the defensive side of the ball. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. And they'll send the tight end in motion. Jacobs going to try the middle, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
Ric Flair. Turbo.
Out of the gun, they'll give to Gibbs. Nice move at the 40. Solid running on the carry, but still brought down just inside of the 40. 8 yards on the run, and that cuts this down to a 3rd and about 5.
Here we go, boss. Here we go.
Now gone. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Juju Brents. And the Colts are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
Get up. Cowboy 80. Let go.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
One thing you always worry about when he breaks the pocket is he going to take off with it? That time, the pressure was starting to close in, and he's just got to throw this one away.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. And with that, they're down to 1 remaining here in this 2nd half. On 3rd down, here's Richardson. Escaping the pressure right. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll be tackled after a gain of 4, still 3 yards short, 4th down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Well, pretty woeful there, just 23 yards on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
And now here is another interception.
It's DJ Turner who's got it. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick six.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. As confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Here's Raymond bringing it out. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Play action. It's Goff. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Kenny Moore. And he'll take this down inside the 15-yard line. I think it's safe to say this is a game anytime soon, Charles. 3 interceptions.
It's rare that we see 3 interceptions by one team, let alone by an individual. And I think that after the second one, he's probably telling his teammates, any ball that's in the air, it's going to be mine. And that turned out to be true.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Ready.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he is going to lose yardage here. That really sets him back. A loss of 6. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll get this down only to the 18. They get just a yard back there, and now they'll be looking at a tough 3rd and 15. And that's going to do it. Clock hits zeros. They're not going to get another playoff. Time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The offense on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 15. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. At this juncture, CD, you normally see teams pack in the passing game. They've got the huge lead. Not them, though. They're still taking their shots.
I remember reading in past history, there was a college football coach in the Hall of Fame whose nickname was Close the Gates of Mercy. But he wasn't really big on that. He was big on go ahead and scoring. He's kind of reincarnated right here. We're watching it in front of us.
Sanders' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
They're ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Third and long. It's Goff. And now here's another interception. And bulldozing his way through. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go.
It's a bit of a dangerous part of the field for them to break into their bag of tricks, but for a minute there, I thought it was going to set up perfectly for them. Instead, they don't get into the end zone, but they do pick up positive yardage.
They'll try to run this one in, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a third down.
Yeah, Richardson back to throw it.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
Kevontae Turpin.
A 5-yard touchdown.
And the Colts are on their way to a 2-0 start. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, second year in the NFL. And I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the second-year quarterback.
Here's Raymond bringing it out.
And this will not be a good return. He's out of bounds at the 12.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Eluding the pressure right. And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first. They will run the draw with Jacobs.
And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame whooping has turned into results.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Goff now looks to throw. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Goff now looking to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Here comes the Lions punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And here's a very low line drive, almost whiffed on it. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10.
Let's go now.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. CD, I mean, they have just been scoring at will. It's been score after score after.
He's intercepted again. It's Richardson's 3rd of the game. Jack Campbell with a pick.
And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25.
Okay, great. Ready.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down.
Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down.
Here we go. Jack. On the ball, on the ball.
Richardson out of the shotgun.
And that is incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Juju Brents. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter.
A good solid run there as we head towards the home stretch of this game.
And now a stoppage, and looks like we have a Colt who was shaken up on that last play.
They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd.
Here's Richardson to throw.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Well, let's face it, not a lot left for them to prove in this game, but they're still throwing the football. I guess, of course, CD, you could always get the backups some work. There's new plays to try out. But some people, let's face it, they just want to run the score up. It's fun.
I love the way that you expressed that because you gave plenty of reasons why people like to do things. But ultimately, they just like to keep their foot on the gas. They just want to tromp on teams. And what I like to see is, if you like to do that, how do you handle it when it comes back against you? On those days where someone can run it up on you, do you handle it the way that you expect your opponent to? If so, keep doing your thing.
Here's Raymond bringing it out. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
On second down, here's Gibbs. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. 1 yard is the loss. They back up even further to a 3rd and 15. Tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. Goff. And now here is another interception. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. Sanders on for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah.
And this is caught at the 20. A big play there for Detroit. 71 yards.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
From the red zone now, Goff. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower.
And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously.